Everyone, we are here at Iowa Pork Congress 2025 with Tim from PSI. Thanks, Tim, for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
So PSI is a building company in the hog building world. Can you provide us with an overview of the type of barns that you guys build at PSI?
Yeah, we do everything from farrow-to-wean complexes to finishers, nurseries, everything under the gamut. Do it all.
And how long have you been with PSI?
I've been there going on 18 years. I started in 2007, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And what are your roles that you've had there?
I started out as a draftsman and then worked my way. Within a year, I was up basically estimating sow units, mostly, some finishers for about 5 years, and then I got into sales after that.
And going through sales, from drafting to sales, what are kind of your favorite types of swine barns that you like to work on?
I like all of them. Actually, on the estimating side, I kind of enjoy the sow units more because there's always something different. But they're all fun to work on.
Yes. Since beginning at PSI, what are some of the changes you've seen in the pork industry from the hog building standpoint?
Most probably, since when I started, I think there's been more emphasis on the ventilation aspect of it, I would say, over the last 20 years. I think when I first started, they weren't looking at as much, so ventilation has become a really important thing that people may not have looked at much back then.
If someone is looking to build a new barn through PSI, what does the planning process look like when they're dreaming up their new hog building vision?
Yeah, a lot of times they'll come to us, but a lot of times they've already, a lot of our customers are repeat customers too, or people that have looked into, talk to their integrator first before they contact us. But we get some that do come to us and ask us, independents especially, unless, because integrators have their own specs for buildings. You get some of the independent people who come to us and, look at, hey, how can I lay this out, the gating, what's most efficient, how, the site, even how the site lays out and that kind of thing. We work on all that with them.
And I think something that property owners forget is the site layout, how important that is.
Yes,
what are some things that you can say about that?
Oh, a lot. You see a lot of stuff. Usually what I like to do before we even start a building, I like to have a meeting with the customers to make sure that, there's something that they're not missing. They might have put a building in this spot here and then realized, and in time they're going to put another building beside it. Well, it might not work there. You might want to move that. I see some of that.
How about the grading of a site? Do you run into people that?
Yeah. So we sometimes do turnkey, not a lot. Usually on our buildings, there's another contractor, a dirt contractor, that's doing the grading, that kind of stuff. We sometimes do see dirt contractors don't have the grading exactly like how we'd like to see it, and then we have to have that talk with them. But most of them get along fine. Usually most of these guys that are digging these holes have done many of them before. So, but sometimes you get a guy that hasn't done it before, and you got to kind of walking through it. But yeah, we want to make sure the grade is right before we actually start pouring.
So since the cost of hog buildings have increased ever since the beautiful year of 2020, what are some tips or advice that you're seeing in the remodeling side of hog buildings that you're really starting to see ramp up on the hog building side of things?
Well, I would say on our end, we started getting into slat replacement last year and have done quite a few of them quite a few of them actually. That's been a big thing. We've been around for 40 years, and so basically a lot of the buildings that we've built many years ago are needing a lot of work, slats included. Right now with the remodel, I think that's probably the big thing right now, slats. Of course, roofs and all that kind of stuff, we're seeing a lot of that, gates, so we're doing a lot of that right now.
PSI, you guys have received a lot of awards over the years for your building construction projects, your accolades. How does that play into the way you help clients and the way you guys strive to work hard every day for your?
Well, yeah, we've won some national frame building awards, like Building of the Year for some sow units. A lot of cumulative, like from our vendors, sales awards and stuff like that. I think it's just kind of a testament of, the work we do, the quantity of stuff we do, and the quality of it we do.
At PSI, you guys carry a lot of different equipment lines for pork producers. you have a parts warehouse, you have a service team. What does that mean for your clients, and why do you guys strive to do that?
Yeah, parts wise, yeah, we just about everybody. We have strong relationships with most all the main vendors, and many. There's a lot of people that we run into that sometimes have used a certain product and want to continue to do that. We can get about anything there is out there. On the service side, service is a huge thing for us. We've got a very good service team. We've always believed that we, service your product, and we've got, I think, 5 guys on the service team now, and most of them have been there for quite some time, so we have a lot of knowledge in the service. We've got many customers that, rely on them completely. Some do when they get, have challenges they don't run into, but our guys are there 24/7. That's a huge part of selling. I don't think if you have a good service department, you're not going to do well in the industry.
And from owning a hog building, when you're in a bind and you have a curtain drop on a -20 day, or
right.
water lines freeze, or something crazy goes on with a controller in a barn, it's so crucial to have someone to call to help you out.
We're there right away. Yep. Those are always priority. There's always emergencies, unfortunately, but we're there right away when somebody calls.
So Tim, what trends and technologies are you seeing in hog buildings?
I would say right now, obviously, smart controllers and stuff like that are becoming a big thing. It took a little while for that to catch on, but as we go along, people are wanting more and more to keep an eye on things, and that's probably the biggest thing is the smart controllers, Maximus, AP Edge, that kind of stuff.
And what is one last piece of advice you would give pork producers about hog barn construction, remodeling, or anything from your end?
Probably build with a reputable builder that is going to help you out after the sale. Service is a big thing.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for stopping by and talking to Swineweb.
All right.
And we'll see you at the next pork show.